Chair, I am going to move to a new topic now. If the commissioners have any questions on the topics of those two chats that we've traversed, I'll pause here.
Thank you. For me, just a few on one aspect, the Constitutional Court judgment. Mr. Mogotsi, by saying that you were still going to get the judgment when you wrote to the minister about it, you had obviously not read the judgment itself, correct?
That's correct.
Yes. Since you had not read the judgment, you must have heard about what you say in your text to the minister about the judgment, correct?
That's correct.
What exactly had you heard?
PKTT members, there is a acquittal of the people who were forced into 204 statement by the PKTT members.
Who had told you this?
It was, like I said, it came from the social, not like news or online news thing, but whoever sent it to me said the PKTT members.
So there are two things here. What the person who communicated with you said, and also what was in the news. So I want to be sure about the mention of the PKTT. Yeah. Was it by the person who communicated with you, or was it by the media? Was it in the news?
Yeah, it was in the news, but like senior counsel was saying, so you thought it was the PKTT. I acceded, so, yes.
Yeah. So are you saying specifically that the news mentioned the PKTT?
The person who sent me the message on WhatsApp, they showing me the PKTT members.
Not the news, not the news. So the news made no mention of the PKTT.
Yeah, I cannot confirm it was the news. No, did not.
And who was the person who told you this?
It's one of the, is it on the group or, but there is this 3 groups. I can try and verify where this thing come from. Maybe after lunch, I should just go in and look for it quickly. I can try and get where and the source of that.
How was this communicated to you?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Yes. So you still have this somewhere?
No, if you go to, if it was a news link, I will have to look for that particular phrase, like 204. Go to Google just to research quickly how was it phrased.
Without suggesting that news is always accurate, but I would be very surprised that this was in the news, because this case had nothing to do with the PKTT. Do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, the fact that the question was posed as to whether Mr. Mogotsi, did you read the statement? Answering no means I cannot even, I should be directed given what the fact says as we speak.
I will tell you that the judgment concerned events that took place in the Western Cape that had nothing to do with the PKTT. Do you accept that?
I accept on the basis that probably I did not read the judgment. I accept that the judgment may have not said the PKTT, but I know that I don't know if commissioner is saying it has nothing to do with the PKTT because it's not in the KZN.
No.
No, if that's not the case.
I'm just stating the fact that case had nothing to do with the PKTT.
Okay. I accede.
But I may add also that what we have heard thus far, unless you're going to suggest otherwise, is that the PKTT was involved in KZN and also in the Eastern Cape Fort Hare cases and an Mthatha case. And we've not heard anything else. Yes, a few members came to assist in Gauteng, That's all we have heard. But that's not the point I was making. I was just saying to you that case had nothing to do with the PKTT.
I agree.
It related to Western Cape events that had nothing to do with the PKTT.
I agree, Commissioner.
Why did you rush to tell the minister about the judgment when you had not yourself read the judgment?
Like I said, it happened so quickly, and even today, I've not read the judgment. It happened that quickly, and I typed that message. I thought it was the PKTT.
All right. Just remind me again, what do you say about sourcing for us the information that relates to what was communicated to you? Are you saying you're going to get that for us?
No, I was saying it was before you say it's a fact, Commissioner. Now that you say it's a fact, there's nothing, there's no need for me to look for anything.
No, I'm interested in who told you about this.
No, I would not even find who told me. I was going to check how was it phrased, whether it is phrased in some of the media links. But if
right,
it's a fact,
let me ask you directly then. Who gave you that information? The information that this was about the PKTT. Who gave you that information?
I can't remember.
On something that you consider to be so crucial, Minister, we are going to be, you and General Sibia now have a basis for having General Khumalo arrested. Surely that must have been something quite important to you, was it not? The arrest of a general, especially at your instance, is not something that happens every day. Is that not so?
It is so. I believe, Commissioners, it seems like it is about General Khumalo. Here, I'm talking of people who were sent to life, were sentenced to life. They had to go. It's not easy to go from High Court to SCA and finally get a judgment in the Constitutional Court. It's not everyone. So I'm saying that how much they lost, the time in prison, all their resources. I even said, even after 30 years of democracy, I was just feeling for those people. Where I am wrong is to align or attach that to the PKTT.
Did you not consider this subject to be of importance?
It is important. It was important.
The subject that you communicated with the minister about, did you not consider it to be important?
I did.
So I would have thought that it should be quite easy to know who communicated to you the fact that this was about the PKTT.
You know, it could have, even the message that I sent that talks about the property from the CI and this, I cannot really tell you now who sent it to me, but it's very, very important.
Thank you. Advocate Baloyi.
Thank you.
Baloyi, sing Baloyi.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Still on that message or exchange with the minister, that page 52 that you were discussing now with the chairperson, you say there that the minister or Sibia or General Sibia can charge Khumalo. That's what you say. I didn't hear your explanation why you skipped the National Commissioner.
I was saying General Sibia was the immediate line manager to General Khumalo.
Yes. And then you say the minister, the executive authority that can do that. And my question is, the operational issues of discipline are not, at least in my understanding, are not ministerial functions. Why do you say the minister and skip the National Commissioner?
Yes, the letter, this message was directed to the minister, and as I said, I also realized, as we speak of the internal processes, that the minister cannot charge an individual.
No, but you understand, I think you earlier on told Mr. Chaskalson that you know the workings of the SAP, so you know that the minister cannot discipline. It must mean that you know that.
I said I didn't. I realized later that it is not the minister who can do that. It is. Remember, it is not that I am acquainted with or conversant with everything in SAPS.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. And where in that message you say, now we got something. Now we got something. Before this, you were searching. It suggests that before this, you had been searching and you were not succeeding, and now we got them. Am I wrong to read to that the emphasis of now to mean that? That you're telling the minister, we've been looking, now we've got something to discipline them.
Yeah, you are not wrong to think it that way, but that's not what I
So
meant.
you say I'm not wrong.
No, you have to think, Commissioner is saying, Madam Commissioner is saying, do you agree that I'm not wrong to think this way? Indeed, you are not wrong to think that way.
Okay. So I'm correct that the communication here means you had been looking for something, and now you're telling the minister we've got them finally.
Not necessarily, Commissioner. Maybe the word, English is very troublesome. We just like it. Maybe I just said now we have something, but I did not imply, as he was saying, if I mention something, there must have been some communication.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Why are you sending your communication with the minister to Mr. Matala about judgments and about Khumalo being disciplined? Why did you think, or why did you know, in fact, that it would be of interest to Mr. Matala that you are communicating this with the minister?
I was showing him that I'm still close to the minister, and the PKTT, which was it was news for him, also good news that he hears it from me. That suggestion, because he talks about the PKTT.
Sorry, your answer is?
It would interest him. According to me, I just thought, because the PKTT, just like the letter that I said, the PKTT that came to your house, he will have interest in that to hear if I suggest that, because that was what I was thinking.
No, but you see, your text doesn't mention the PKTT, it mentions Khumalo.
Yeah.
So you knew he would be interested that Khumalo is to be disciplined, that you're talking to the minister about disciplining Khumalo. You knew that.
It's true. Khumalo, who is the head of the PKTT?
Why did you think Mr. Matlala has an interest in Khumalo being disciplined?
Not Khumalo only.
No, you're referring to Khumalo here.
Yes,
Let's take it one step at a time. Your message here speaks only to Khumalo. You haven't said in this message anyone else is to be disciplined, right? You say Khumalo will be disciplined. The question is, why did you think Mr. Matlala has an interest in knowing that you're speaking to the minister about disciplining Khumalo?
Yeah, it's because Khumalo is the head of the PKTT. And like as I said yesterday, I thought, commissioners, if you can know what I think of that message now, it's totally different from what I thought then. Now I can see this message did not have any weight, it's meaningless. But that time I thought, because PKTT is headed by General Khumalo, so for this thing that people went to prison for nothing, he must also be accountable. That's what I thought.
No, but you see, you're wrong. The message is not meaningless then and now. It's not meaningless. It's very meaningful. You're telling the minister, here's a judgment. You, CBA, must discipline, right? It must discipline Khumalo. And you share that with Matala, who has an interest because PKTT people have come to his house. So it is a meaningful message. You can't downplay it now, Mr. Mogotsi.
The content to think that to say Khumalo must be disciplined.
Yes.
It's very wrong, that's what I'm saying. Because in the first place, like what you alluded to yesterday, if this was a criminal case and you ask me, did Kumalo arrest those people and force them to fall? The answer would be no, and I will be at fault with that.
Okay. And then you've said to the chairperson, and I think it's not the first time, that you did not read this judgment that you are referring to. It was given to you and you just forwarded it to the minister. Or you told the minister. Yes. Let me correct that. You were told about the judgment and then you mentioned it to the minister, and then you say, Kumalo, you didn't read this judgment, right?
That's correct.
Now, you've admitted the judgment doesn't refer to PKTT and doesn't refer to Kumalo at all. Is this, you accept that this is yet another case of you saying things that are not supported by facts? So you communicate to the minister something that you didn't check and that is untrue. This judgment has nothing to do with the PKTT. You accept that?
Excellent.
Okay. Now, the WhatsApp exchange is in page 52, if you would just go there. And I have only one question maybe about it. You say, why did you share this with Matlala? Why did Matlala, because it's quite cryptic, by the way. So on its face, it doesn't tell anything. It just says, please update. That's page 52. Minister Nkunu said that to you. You say to him, you say something, it was during your tenure. You had said that at 3:07. You said you don't remember what that was. There are a number of telephone calls. And then you say we got a breakthrough on the 24th. And then the next page is the minister asking, was the arrest effected? Now, anyone reading this, unless you tell us what you were discussing with Mr. Matlala so that this makes sense, anyone reading this exchanges between you and Mr. Matlala, it doesn't make sense. It lacks content. Why do you share this with Mr. Matlala when it has absolutely no content unless on the phone call you have discussed with him and he knows exactly what these communications are about?
It is not that, it is just that now I don't remember. It's not that I'm saying this never happened or that time it had a meaning. I so wish I could remember, but I don't remember.
And so you don't remember why you even shared with Mr. Matlala?
No, Matlala had to keep him abreast that I'm working with the minister. That is something else.
Okay.
I would always talk to him.
And here you are working with the minister about what? His contract is not yet cancelled, as I understand. It's December 27th. Why do you need to be persuading Mr. Matlala that you're working with the minister about what?
Not to work with the minister, that I'm close to him. I'm showing him that I always talk to him.
Yeah, what I'm asking is, his contract is not cancelled yet at this point. So why do you need to persuade him that you are working with the minister or you're close to the minister?
I don't know how to put it, commissioners. If you want to win somebody's trust, and then you work, how do I put, like any other message that I send him about the intelligence vehicles and what, is to show a person that I'm doing my job. This is what I'm doing and I'm working with the minister. The unfortunate part is that the minister didn't know. Hence, you'll just show someone.
Okay. Now, lastly, it's the discussion about the IPID guy. I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I understood your evidence this morning to be that you were not interested in the arrest itself, but in the IPID guy. You wanted to know who is this IPID guy.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yes. Mainly, I wanted to know in particular who's this person.
What does mainly mean, that qualifier?
In the midst of all these things, that yes, he needed to get justice for his wife and his assault. But my focus was to get this iPad person.
So you were interested in an arrest as well being made?
Yeah, the arrest is not about interest. I mean, if someone is being arrested and his wife being beaten up in front of him, that justice, no one has the right to do that.
Okay.
I cannot deny that the arrest, I would even want to see it. I mean, yeah.
You actually encouraged it because you actually helped him to go and open a case in
Yes.
Soweto.
It's true. That's correct, Commissioner.
And according to you, who would have been arrested on that case? You know the facts. You know who went to his house.
No, I was.
Who according to you, would have been arrested?
Would be the person who manhandled his wife and him.
And you wanted the name of the IPID guy that would help him with that.
No, because he mentioned him along those lines, I also wanted to know him as to who is this person.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner,
Sorry, yes.
I'm sitting here, asking myself questions as I'm responding one by one. And I'm responding to the same table that says to me, even the oath that I have taken, they don't believe it binding my conscience. If someone is in my shoes, does it really help for me to be here? Or as we go on, it will start to bind in the mind of the commissioners? Is it still appropriate for me to be sitting here giving evidence on a known fact that the oath that I have taken doesn't help?
Mr. Mogotsi, please do not make a mistake. What is put to you by way of questioning in no way means that decisions, conclusive findings have been made by this commission. I think you asked me a similar question yesterday. I forget, or I think you asked whether we believe that you are in fact a co-agent. Am I mistaken? I think that's the question you put.
That was the question.
And I said to you, Mr. Mogotsi, we are going to make our findings at some stage down the line. So take it from me when I say at this stage, we have not made any findings. But that does not mean that we will not test what you are saying or what is apparent to us from documents. We are going to test that. All of that will assist us in the end in making findings. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Sorry, Mr. Mogotsi, I thought I had finished about the IPID guy. I have one last question that I wanted to ask that I overlooked. At page 47, right at the bottom of those exchanges, you say to Mr. Matlala, this is still about the IPID guy, I think, in the sequence of conversations.
47.
Yes. 47, yes. Right at the bottom? So the exchange before that is from Mr. Matlala. He says to you, there's a bit of a hurdle there, but I will fill you in. Now, we know from earlier evidence that you gave that this conversation is still about the IPID person. But then the very last comment is from you, or message is from you, where you say, will it work? What were you asking here? What would work? Remember, it's about the IPID person. He's just said.
Oh, yes. But,
Yes.
He said, I wanted to know if he said there's a bit of a hurdle. I just want to know, but will it work?
What will work ultimately?
Whatever that is doing with the IPID person.
Will the IPID person go
Succeed,
and
yes.
No, let me just make sure that you understand what I'm asking. When you ask him, will it work here? Were you asking him, will the IPID person make the arrest happen?
Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
It is still morning, Mr. Mogotsi. I didn't want to say Good afternoon. The charts that we have been looking at, especially the one on page, it starts on page 57, continues to page 58. So you see that the date of those charts is 31 December 2024.
That's correct.
Yes. And these are the chats between you and Mr. Matlala because they were obtained from Mr. Matlala's phone.
That's correct.
And we know that 31 December 2024 is the date when the minister drafted the disbandment letter.
That's correct.
We can accept that.
You accept it.
Did you know that the minister was at home on that day?
I did not know where the minister was.
You did not know. And you sending your communication with the minister to Mr. Matlala, correct?
That's correct.
Because on 31 December 2024, you want to show Mr. Matlala that you and the minister are discussing the PKTT, or at least people in the leadership of the PKTT, correct?
Not discussing that. I sent him a message.
Yes.
Remember, the minister did not respond.
Yes.
If it's me, it was a one-way communication.
No, I'm saying you are sending this to Mr. Matlala.
Yes.
And the purpose of you sending it to Mr. Matlala is to show Mr. Matlala that at least you are discussing the PKTT with the minister.
Yeah, that I sent him
Yes.
a message. Yes.
And that you are portraying the PKTT or at least its leadership in a negative light. Is that correct? Because
Not
you're not
portraying.
saying positive things about the PKTT or its
In
leadership.
that context, yes.
Yeah. So you are portraying the PKTT in a negative light.
To Matlala.
You are showing Matlala
That's
that
correct.
you are portraying to the minister the PKTT in a negative light.
No, I'm not showing that. It's not in that context. To show this is where there's a court judgment.
Yeah.
It's a fact. You don't portray. You are showing him. This is now what I think
Yeah.
the PKTT have done, and this is what my suggestion is
Yes.
to the minister.
So you are suggesting to the minister that the PKTT is doing wrong things.
That there's a court judgment.
Yes.
Yes, not the PK. Here we are not referring mainly to the PKTT. I'm referring to the judgment. That here's the judgment, and I feel the leader of the PKTT should be accountable.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we're saying the same thing. You were referring to a judgment,
Yes.
but what interested you in the judgment was the conduct of the PKTT,
That's correct.
which you thought was bad.
Inappropriately so, yeah.
Yes. And this is around 11:18 in the morning, so it's 18 minutes after 11.
Yes.
Yes. And then what follows this text is a text on page 59 to Mr. Matlala, where you say to him, "Today is D-Day," on the other side. You see that?
I see that, 100%.
And what I'm going to suggest to you is that the only thing of relevance or significance that happened that day is the disbandment of the PKTT by the minister.
Absolutely.
At least that is relevant to Mr. Matlala. I mean, I'm sure the whole country would have been celebrating the end of the year. But in these exchanges, the only thing of significance that happened that day is the disbandment of the PKTT.
That's correct. That's correct.
And this suggests, at least to me, that at 11:32 on the 31st of December 2024, you knew that PKTT was going to be disbanded that day. And that's the message you were sending to Mr. Matlala, that this is D-Day. This is the day when PKTT is going to be disbanded.
The suggestion, Commissioner, is misplaced, Commissioner. Here it was a D-Day. Remember I said it was, this is what I said. If you check the message, outstanding issues. But from the top, it started by, "I'm now worried, my bra."
Yes.
He said, worried about. And I said, the outstanding issues. Now this again. Then I said, okay, today is the D-Day on the other side. I think you must also stand back. The D-Day was the pay for the payment of the January 8. And then to stand back, look, this is now what supports the stand back. He asked me, stand back, don't understand what you mean. Then I only spoke about your safety and business, because I did allude even yesterday. It was after I heard that they were going to Matala. I don't want to say attack, but they were going to do a similar thing which they did previously. That is why I even say, if you check the next one, I said, we must just fight what comes your way to help him. It was his way. It has nothing to do with the PKTT and all those stuff and all those things. Now, I don't know, Commissioner, if I should talk about the letter that you say it gave impression to the minister, and I've also showed to Kate.
No,
I
I did not ask about that. I'm only focusing on this text.
Yeah,
So D-Day to you referred to payments for 8 January.
That's correct.
So why did it have to be D-Day on the 31st of December?
Because
2024.
it was what we agreed with the arrangement for the people who were going to Cape Town that we're going to pay. And the focus, as I've said, let's say there's no D-Day, and I say you must stand back, and he asks me from what? And I say, for your safety and your business. If it was the PKTT, when he says stand back from what, I should have said something big is coming that is going to make you happy, or something to show that I was awaiting the disbandment. But we were talking specifically about his safety and his business.
And his safety and his business have everything to do with PKTT and not the 8 January event of the ANC.
Yes, that's what I said, because the D-Day is separate.
Yes.
On other issues, is a D-Day on the other side.
Yes.
Yes, but now...
And then when he asks you why he must stand back, you say it relates to your safety and your business.
Yes.
Which means it relates to the PKTT.
Because they were going to go, as I heard, they were going to go to him again. There was a stage when they took all his firearms, whereas he's running a private security, doing some VIP. That's what he was telling me. You could not run that without firearms.
Yesterday, you told us that in September 2024, you assisted some people to open a case against the PKTT in Midrand. Do you remember that?
Against General Mkhwanazi, yes.
Yes. Did you tell the minister about that?
No.
In December 2024, did you have, other than the text that we have seen, did you have discussions with the minister about the PKTT and their raid at Mr. Matlala's house and business? Did you tell the minister about that?
I can't remember.
You can't, but it's possible that you did.
No.
No, but if you can't remember, then you can't say it did not happen. Either you remember or you don't remember.
No, I never told the minister. And if I don't remember, doesn't mean I did.
Yes.
If one cannot remember, it's just that this is here now. You will find out even this letter that I wrote to the minister, I may have sent to another person also about the judgment, question of the judgment. But I don't remember sending or informing the minister that they have beaten Kat's wife, and I know. And I never even spoke to the minister about Kat.
Okay. And then one last point, just looking at the long text on page 58 and the content of the long text, I think my colleague, Commissioner Baloy, has taken you through it. You are advising or suggesting to the minister that either he or Sibia must charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary hearing. Do you see that?
I see that.
Do you accept that on its face, this is you interfering with police matters at a high level, on matters that have nothing to do with you or your community in the Northwest? Do you accept that this is interference in police matters?
Commissioners, you seeing me sitting here, it should not go out of the mind of the commissioners that I'm still a citizen of South Africa. I'm still an individual. It's not the first time, that I send a message to someone or request an intervention of some sort from other people. I did. So to write this, I can give you two practical examples. There is one general of the army from Mahikeng. He was a well-known person, General Madumani. He had some problems before he passed on. The commission, I don't know if you are aware, I called the deputy president, Mashatile, and he referred me to the HOD requesting an intervention. Unfortunately, the HOD, as we were starting, the person passed on. I'm saying it is possible. It may have been. This should not be misconstrued just because his minister says. Even if it was like the former minister Viktel, I would call him. I would send him messages. It's not in the start because of minister says.
Mr. Mogotsi, I'm being patient. The case in Cape Town had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with your community. And here you are advising a minister to charge a senior general in the subs. I'm saying to you, that is interference in police matters.
Commissioner, it means you are suggesting to me what happens in the Cape Flats, people being raped and killed, has nothing to do with me and the commissioner. Commissioner, this is South Africa. It is our South Africa. There's nothing wrong to tell a member of parliament or the president or whoever about a particular problem in Eastern Cape or elsewhere. Besides being an agent, this should not be brought in my line of work.
So let me put it the other way. If Mr. Ket Matala had said to the minister, I want you to arrest Kumalo or to charge Kumalo, as an ordinary citizen, that would have been fine. There would have been nothing wrong with that.
There would be nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is him.
Thank you.
Thank you.